oatmeal in a way that I heat up the water, I pour it in the bowl, I mix it up, and I eat it, and it's delicious.
That feels
Oh,
normal.
okay, is that normal? I
It
thought it
feels
was
normal.
normal. However, I don't know if you've looked on a Quaker packet lately,
Huh?
but they give you instructions telling you how to make the oatmeal, and it's entirely different than I've ever made it. And so,
Hmm.
because I know and you know, every week, if we can just shift our mind a little bit, try something we've never tried, something that we've approached. I'm literally like, for 50 years, I've been eating oatmeal for 5 decades, and I've never made it this way.
Uh-huh.
And so the packet itself says this, it says you're supposed to put water in the packet.
Right.
First of all, the packet is a pretty durable, it's not just this thin wafer paper thing, like it holds water. Did you know
Yeah.
that? Did you know the oatmeal packets could contain water?
Yes.
Because I didn't. You put water in it up to the 3/4 line, has a 3/4 line as if I'm going to go above it to the full. And then you dump it in, you dump all of it in the bowl, you put it in the microwave, and you heat it for 60 to 75 seconds.
Yeah.
Monica, I have never heated oats in my life. I heat the water, I put it in, I stir it up, and I figure that's the texture, that's the flavor, that's the taste, that's the way oats are supposed to be made. But that's not the way the manufacturer tells you to make it. I
Hmm.
was floored. So here's what happened. So I did that this morning because I'm like,
Yes.
I'm a mind shift. I got to think different. I got to try something new every week. I got to experience something, even if it's just the way I eat oatmeal.
Uh-huh.
I got to keep this habit and practice of doing things out of the norm. Do you know how hard that is, Monica? Have you ever tried to do something that you've done for 50 years and you're not even 50 years old and try to just do it differently?
Yes, I
Just for the
have.
sake, tell me one thing. What have you
I
done
don't.
that you had such a strong pattern and such a history of doing, and you're like, I'm gonna do it differently because the people who create it say to do
Yeah.
it this way. Apparently, I've been doing it wrong compared to what they said for the last 50 years.
I have a follow-up question for you.
Okay, do you
Are
want me to
you
finish
the
this?
person, are you one of those people who just thinks that you can figure anything out and you don't read instructions typically?
Generally speaking, well, it depends on what it is. I'm not because I'm not handy, so it's not like I get an IKEA desk. And I'm like, I'll just figure this out. I mean, I look at the thing, and
Mhm.
I do follow the steps on it. So when it
Yeah.
comes to things that I have no competence in, I am happy to submit to instructions
Yeah.
and do it
Yeah,
because
but you felt pretty competent with oatmeal, so that was not.
I felt like I've been doing this, and it's strange. It's like this is not the way they want you to do it.
Yeah.
Like I just so the whole thing. I know it's a strange business topic, eating oatmeal, but the idea of like there is a designed way for something to be done, and I've been doing it
Yeah.
differently. And here's the deal. I don't know if they just made that up. I don't know if like it just came on the scene a couple years ago. I don't know if I've ever read an oatmeal packet thing. Take it
I
out.
think it's fairly new. It hasn't always been there, but I do remember seeing it for the first time and feeling like they came up with a way that was the quickest and the most instant that they could possibly make the process. But I personally don't like it better. I've tried it that way, but I
Let
don't
me
think
just
it's
tell you,
better.
it's an entirely different substance.
Yeah.
Like that. So let me ask you this, because this happens. This happens in conversations with people all the time. Like when somebody said they have oatmeal for breakfast, I think they're having what I've experienced. Like I just go, I like oatmeal for breakfast.
Yeah.
But the truth is, this thing I had this morning, it is a foamy, texturized, like it almost felt like a sticky, like I could take it and it was like I could pack a snowball. It was such a different texture that I was like, I would not have referred to this as oatmeal. So
Yeah.
then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, are other people eating? Is this what other people think oatmeal is? Because
This is the decline of oatmeal is what I hear. I'm like, that doesn't sound yummy at all.
I don't know. It was my first time. It was the same flavor, entirely different texture. It wasn't cotton candy-ish, but it was
Yeah.
foamy and it was sticky and it
So
like
how does this
oh
relate to
because here
work?
let me say this because I never put oats in the microwave and so the oats themselves inflated, got super hot instead
Uh-huh.
of it. Well,
Yeah.
here's the way it relates to work, Monica. Thanks for asking. Um, First, we are creatures of habit and routine and doing things a way even if it is not the way it's intended to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a deep resistance to altering that, even when somebody says, there's a better way to do that. Or, hey, did you know this is meant to be done this way? There's something in our human nature that's defensive, that's resistant, that says, you're crazy. I love my oatmeal this way. This is what oatmeal looks like. And we are so adjusted as humans to the way we've been to become something we're not, or to try something different than we're not. Like there is an inherent built-in resistance to it. And yet, Monica, innovation, growth, experiencing new aspects of our life, they do not happen without that willingness and that intentionality to say, I'm going to do this in a way that's contrary to how I've done it. And you know this as well as I do, most people get angry when somebody says, do something different than the way you've been doing it. They're like, most people wait to change until it's forced on them, and then they get an attitude that like, why are you telling me what? I mean, these are grown adult people that act like, 13-year-old rebellious teenagers. You can't tell me what to do. You don't know. I've been making oatmeal for this, like I've got this resistance to a thing, and you have the chance to miss out on so many good things, new things, different things that, and life is just too big to be contained with just the way we've been doing it. And so that's why in this effort for mind shifts, I'm like, I am consciously every week attempting to do something contrary to even how I think is the right way or the way I've always done, just so I can experience something different that I've never experienced. Eleanor Roosevelt, she was like, do something that makes you scared every day. I'm like, I'm not afraid of oatmeal. It's just different. I don't have to be afraid to do it. I just want to do something different than I've done, just so I start building a muscle, because I do believe that muscle for change is something we can strengthen and go, okay, I'm continually open to attempting, trying, even being told do this differently, and have a willingness to do it.
I love that. That's good. One thing that brought up though is about doing scary things, because I talk about practices and daily practices and all that, and how it's the compounding effect that really brings about change. But making the initial change is super difficult until you have a problem, until you run out of your regular oatmeal, and then you have to make a choice. Do I go get more, or do I try something new and different? And I think the same thing goes for our methods and our habits. I used to be a runner, and I loved running. I'm not like actually built to be a runner though.
Not true.
I mean, a little bit.
You have two legs and two
I
arms.
know, but like,
Built for that.
to run long distance, like my hips just are not like,
An
it's not
interesting story
easy.
you're telling yourself, Monica.
No, listen. So when I was 35 though, I started like being in a lot of pain, like my joints, my knees and my hips. And people who left me were like, you need to stop running, you need to start lifting weights anyway, you're getting older, keep that muscle, whatever. And I was like, oh, I hate going to the gym. I hate it. I'm not doing it. And because I had my pattern, I had my method, but eventually it just really was hurting. And thankfully I had a friend who was like, come work out with me. And I was like, no, I'm good. And she was like, no, it's going to be fun. If you come on Halloween, like we're going to dress up and it's going to be fun and we're going to take pictures. And she made it sound like a party.
Lured you in.
Yeah. And I was like, fine, I'll go. But like, that sounds fun. I just happen to have a Wonder Woman costume. I mean,
It's weirdly in my closet. I got an extra Wonder Woman costume that fits perfectly.
yeah. And so I put on my Wonder Woman costume when it was hell. And I hated it. It was horrible experience. And at the end of it, they have like this motivational, like little coaching moment. And I was like crying real tears. Like I was just so embarrassed because I failed really miserably that day. And the owner came up and he was like, hey, I just want to let you know, I saw you. It was your first time today. Man, I saw you giving up, failing, but I saw you keep getting back up. And I just think you're one of us. And I think you can do this. And we'll help you. And you can and all this. And I mean, something shifted in me. I walked my happy little self to the front desk and signed like a hefty 1-year contract. And I committed. And I think about that, and it's what made me make that shift. And it was a couple things. Number one, I like had somebody invite me in to try something different.
Mhm.
And so we can help each other by going, let's change a habit today. And
Yeah.
like even having a conversation like this. The other thing is like there was that the owner, the trainer, I felt so ashamed and like weak. Like I don't want to look stupid or weak. Okay. No one does.
No one
And
does.
I felt like I looked stupid and weak. But the way that he came up to me and said, I saw you failing, I saw you getting back up, I saw you trying, and I just want to say, like, I see basically greatness in you, and you
Mhm.
can do this, and I can help. So he removed the shame roadblock because no one likes to feel stupid for
Yeah.
trying new things and
Yeah.
failing. And then the other thing is that there was support, like there. And so I think all those different elements are necessary when you want to make like meaningful mind shifts and meaningful change. It's
Yeah.
like remove the shame roadblock for yourself, like
Well,
invite yourself to try
I heard
something new.
I heard you say you didn't do that. Somebody else did. So like
Right.
everything
But
you said was about somebody else. Friend invited you. Somebody else said, "Hey, I saw you failing and getting back up. You can do this," and have a community of other people doing the same thing.
that's true. That was all prompted, but it taught me something that I can do for myself as well. So
Okay.
I can invite myself to push myself to do something I knew I need to do. I
Yes.
can also deal with my own shame roadblocks. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to look stupid. People are not going to like what I have to say, blah, blah, blah. What if I fail or whatever? Like, all of those things. I can talk myself through that. And then I also can, make sure I have the support I need
Yeah.
when the time comes that I need it. Like, through reading, through education, through friendship and relationship, accountability, all the things.
It's just so much easier is not the right
Yeah,
word. It's
I know
so
what
much
you
more
mean.
enjoyable when it is somebody else.
It's true. Yeah.
When you have somebody, I mean, those are the kind of people we are. We're having these conversations in a public forum because we want to be that kind of person to other people. We want to
Yes.
be those kinds of people to organizations. We want to say, hey, listen, it's really hard to do this by yourself. It is possible. It's never not possible to do it by
Right.
yourself, but it becomes so much more realistic if you have someone. Because
Right.
even if you dealt with all those and you didn't have any of that to go back to, you might have never gone back again.
Hmm.
You so the reality of yes, you can do it yourself, but man, it's the
Hmm.
consistency and the excitement about having a partner with you
Yeah.
is, I mean, life is just better with people.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
you just and it helps us become better people. Like
Yeah.
life is better with people, and it helps us become better people. So
Yeah.
I like that saying.
Hmm.
So this has been a great conversation, Monica. And who knew just a bowl of oatmeal could set us on a course? So all of you that are listening, first of all, I love Monica's points about be that kind of person that invites someone and be open to have someone invite you. See the greatness in others and let others see the greatness in you and be that kind of community. Monica and I want to be a part of a community of people who are continually growing, reaching, stretching to shift ourselves into the greatness that lives within us. So
That's right.
that's it for today. Have yourself a fantastic day. See ya. All right, that one was almost 14 minutes.
Yeah.
See, Monica, that brought that whole story. That's in your message.